Hey, Heather,
Hi.
what happened in 2016, 2017?
Oh, you mean when the wool prices all fell because we lost our imports and our tariffs? Like they basically put tariffs on the wool that we were exporting to China, and now China went and made new contracts with New Zealand, and so the wool all crashed. The entire wool economy in the U.S. crashed.
So in 2015,
I think it was that. Right.
in 2015, you could sell white fine wool fleeces for $1 a pound.
Right. We would take.
That was a hit. That was like practically a historic high.
Yes, that was a really good price. That is like not the fleece that you would use for hand spinning. That was the fleece that you would use for just making into yarn.
Yeah.
It would go into the mass bales because they would collect it here and then they would send it overseas to be processed.
Yes, because out of I don't know how many countries are in the world. I'm gonna say 100 countries.
Yeah, it's more than that.
I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there. The U.S. is like in the bottom 5% of wool growing countries.
Yep.
We suck when it comes to wool.
And we used to, I had customers that would come into the shop that would have 100, 150, 200, even up to 1,000 head of sheep that were all fine wool Rambouillet cross sheep. They were running on the eastern side of the mountains here.
Mm-hmm.
And they would just literally have that sheared off, baled up, and they would send it down to California to be exported. And that's gone now. That source of income is gone for them.
Gone.
So do you think they still have those sheep?
They don't. They don't. They have sent all of those wool-bearing sheep to slaughter.
Yep.
They have replaced those wool-bearing sheep with shedding breeds of sheep. So,
Or
with cows.
Which are worse for the environment.
Easier to raise.
Easier to raise.
So then what happened in, my gosh, it was before 24, the 2024 election. But it showed up last year, the 2024, immediately. Remember what happened to the hay farmers?
You mean when they couldn't export their hay?
Yeah, because
we drove through Utah and we saw all those giant bales.
In Eastern Oregon, some of the best alfalfa grown in the entire world is grown in Eastern Oregon and Eastern Oregon and Washington. Some of the best alfalfa in the entire world is grown there. It is sitting there in great big bales. There's even one of the presses closed.
Yeah. That
did compressed bales because there's no export because we imposed tariffs upon imports from other countries.
And now look at the soybeans that are just hanging out.
Zero.
Tariffs have, we can't export them because we are not the only country in the world that has these things.
No, we're far from that.
All these other countries have these things too. And once you lose your market because of tariffs, or once we're a volatile country because of tariffs, all of a sudden we lose that market forever. We will never get our wool market back to New Zealand or Australia or any of the other
Pakistan.
countries. Right?
Pakistan is in the top 5 producers of wool. I want to say it's 3rd right now.
Because our United States elitism does not translate to the rest of the world.
We're nobodies.
Right. They can get what we have.
So when you go to Cash and Carry, okay, which is a restaurant supply store that we have here on the West Coast. Actually, it's not Cash and Carry.
Yeah, it's U.S. Food Services or something.
U.S. Food Services, Chef Store, something like that. Okay, so Cash and Carry is like a holdover name from the 90s. Aging myself there. When you go through their produce and their meat and stuff, what's stamped on it? Have you been there recently?
I have not been there recently.
Okay, last time I was there, I'd say 90% of the produce and beef and pork stamped on it. Processed or grown in Argentina, in Brazil, in any number. Name a south of the border country, and that's where it's grown or processed.
We don't have processing plants here either. This is not that we can't just keep our stuff here. We don't have the processing plants to process what we make here. And especially now that we are, I don't know, arresting people on current and correct visas in a Hyundai plant.
Okay, even if we didn't do that, even if we allowed every immigrant a job and we handed them U.S. citizenship, you know why we can't have any of these things? Is because the people who built those plants, who we'll use lumber, for example. Lumber mills only closed in the 90s. That's not that long ago, right? Mm-hmm. Right? So the people who built those mills so that we didn't import our lumber from Canada, they're dead.
And we don't know how to run the machines.
And we don't know how to put one of those mills back together. We don't know how to machine the parts for those mills. We don't know how to work on the equipment. Yeah, I'm sure Joe down the street can figure it out. But but that takes time. That's not Frank that was born in 1940 can walk in there and just listen to it and go, it's the counterbalance wobbly bearing that needs replaced.
That's why we don't own a mill, by the way. Because
that's why we don't own a mill.
All like the wobbly bearing's wrong again.
Exactly. Okay.
And we also don't own a mill because we can't get workers for it, and we can't get the capital to start a mill. There are so many.
And we have no desire to run it ourselves.
Well, that's true. Okay. You know, people lose fingers doing that.
They do. We're not supposed to laugh about that. Emily, we love you.
Right.
So, long story short, tariffs are killing us. Yep. They're killing small, and I'm not taking, they're killing micro business. Okay. How big of a business are we, Heather?
We're a micro business.
We're a micro business. You know why we're a micro business? We employ under 150 employees.
Something like that. And we make less than $1 million a year.
And we don't have more than one location.
You know what? If we could make $1 million a year, we would have a party. We might even get a paycheck. So,
if anybody's hiring,
we
need part-time jobs.
Part-time jobs.
But there you go. Yeah, we very much. There's a lot of things that.
No, we are not closing and we are not stopping because we are really stubborn. Okay.
And this is a passion.
Right.
This is a passion project.
Right.
We're not closing.
We may be grazing sheep on the port by the end of the year, but we are not closing.
Right.
That wasn't in their port suggestions. We could probably suggest that.
Ecological weed control.
Right. We could suggest that.
I can use fancy words to get that contract.
Right. But regardless.
We are here to stay. Mm-hmm. We do have U.S. grown product there under that gray sweater. That's from my flock. So we have grown U.S. grown milled wool here. We also bring in a roving that is U.S. grown and milled. As far as our commercial stock, if you come in and you see the shelves a little skimpier than you'd like, that's because we're hoping and praying that tariffs lift and we can get an order in between tariffs and not have to raise our prices by
30%.
30, 40, 60%. Because I don't know anybody personally who wants to spend, I don't know, $15 on a small skein of cotton.
Right.
I mean, at that rate, we can have indie dyed everything. Indie dyed yarn, by the way, a good portion of it is import basis. Because again, we go back to, we don't have the infrastructure in this country to commercially, and when I say commercially, I don't mean Emily down the street, who is doing a fantastic job milling yarn I'm not talking about her.
We're talking thousands and thousands of pounds.
We're talking a minimum run weight of 100 pounds, mils. Whereas they would actually prefer 1,000 pounds as a minimum run. We're talking commercial.
If we don't have access, we have a whole thing full of wool, and we do not have access to enough wool to make commercial runs.
I literally have a pickup load of wool that came with my shearer because she's my dealer too.
Right.
And that is never enough to put together. I don't have a commercial run.
Nope.
Ever. Maybe of Lincoln.
Maybe of Lincoln.
Only because Lincoln is a larger diameter, so
weighs a lot more.
So fiber per fiber, it weighs more. I might have 100 pounds of Lincoln.
That would be suitable.
Maybe that would be suitable and close enough and handle
we
and
might
stuff.
be able to do a run of Rommeldale, but it'd be really dang close, and we'd have to be searching through people's barns to put it together.
I could do a co-op run of Rommeldale. I could contact 6 breeders around the area and probably find enough similar fleeces. But
yeah, it's a lot. It's a way bigger problem than we have. And I saw people talking about how oh no, we have enough clothes. Nobody has any idea of how quickly clothes wear out. Even your polyester and stuff that keeps in all of the moisture and isn't good for us to wear, it wears out way faster than you think. The reason you think that it doesn't is because you're looking at your 6 winter jackets and 18 sweaters that you've had since 1994.
So I'm really sad. I purchased 2 pairs of jeans, real 100% cotton denim jeans, the thicker cotton. And what are they, 3 years old?
Mm-hmm.
So I only ever have 2 to 4 pairs of pants, outdoor pants, jeans, or I have 2 pairs of overalls and 2 pairs of jeans, and I cycle through them.
We put our money into our animals. Thank you. We don't get to go clothes shopping.
Right. So I spent the money on good pants because, of course, they last longer. 3 years, and one of those pairs of pants, any of you with thighs know this. I lost the inside thighs on that pair of pants this last week. I'm very sad because the manufacturer of those pants no longer makes them.
Right, of course.
Of course. And the availability of real denim.
Yes.
When was the last time that you went jean shopping and found real denim jeans?
Not very. It's been a long time.
It's been forever.
Forever. And they don't make them. And quality is going to go down, and because we also are losing our, what you were saying before, the knowledge base. And all of those things really, honestly, as weird as it sounds, takes a knowledge base.
It takes knowledge. And we don't have it in our country anymore. Not on these things. Yeah, we have people who can work numbers. We can work numbers all day long, too.
Yep.
Doesn't mean we know jack shit.
Yep, and we didn't win the lottery because we didn't buy tickets, so...
Dusty bought our ticket. We still didn't win. Somebody in Texas or Missouri did.
Texas and Missouri.
Texas and Missouri.
Yep. So congratulations, lottery winners.
Congratulations. We don't live in your states.
If you'd like to blow your money, we have a proposition on wool for you.
I'd like a milling machine so I can make pellets.
So we can fertilize the stuff that we can.
Fertilize the world with the wool that we have no market for. And I'd like some flat ground. So if anybody wants to, it doesn't even have to be really flat. It just needs to be
gently sloped.
Yeah, gently sloped is good. And a barn.
10 acres.
Yeah, 10 acres work.
5 acres.
I'm not even that picky. 5 acres. It doesn't even have to have a house. I'll live in a shack.
Right.
Here I come.
We could probably felt one of those out of the Lincoln. What are they doing out there? Felting their yurt.
Felting our yurt. So there you go. There's our Monday ramblings for you all. and have a fantastic day. Bye.